Going to go ahead and start this recording. All right, guys. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you guys that have been on the live, I've been already chatting with you guys for a couple minutes here, getting things set up. For those of you guys that are maybe listening on the recording right now, welcome. We are just going to continue our conversation from last week, guys. Last week, I made an important announcement. In8 as a business was and is not viable to continue. Um, we just had a lot of factors hit us this year, a lot of things. We'll go over some of those things. Last week, I just kind of did more of a discussion. I didn't have much slides. So the idea is to give a little bit more structure and a little bit more information. Okay. We can do this as informal as we want. So the chat is open here. I can see the chat. If you guys have questions throughout the presentation, I'll try to answer them as we go along. If not, at the end, I'll go back and look at the questions we have here. But go ahead and put your questions in the chat box. And as we go out through the presentation, we'll either go back to them and answer them, or I'll answer them as we go. Okay. All right. So this deal, guys, what it does is it takes us from survival mode to scale. Okay. It allows us as a company to continue operating. It allows us to pivot into strength. Okay. That's what I want you guys to look at this. This is not a reaction to weakness. This is allowing us to continue the vision that we had from the beginning, but from a position of strength. And we'll talk about why that is and how that is. Okay. So what happened at a high level, or what's happening at a high level. Okay. This is our second community call. As you guys know, we're building on this. Like I said, I want to talk about clarity, confidence, and direction. Okay. So the In8 assets are being acquired. What are the assets? What did we build the last year and a half? The hardware layer and the software layer for the cloud. That is being acquired by Blockfabric, which is the legal entity. Okay. The brand is going to be known as Codex. The assets are being moved into a larger ecosystem that aligns with our vision, but at the same time has multiple node-based infrastructure projects in the larger scope, in the larger ecosystem. Now, what this will allow us to do as a community, we have a couple options here to transition into an already existing and already solid and mature, thriving ecosystem. Okay. The company, this ecosystem that we're going to be part of, this decentralized ecosystem, already has about 7 years operating. They have projects that have done billions of dollars in market cap and gotten tokens way up there. They have multiple different node projects that are out there. So it gives us the ability to do what I always wanted to do and have a self-consuming, self-sustaining ecosystem with our cloud. Okay. Why staying small wasn't an option? Why do I say that In8 wasn't viable? One, it was expensive, very expensive for me to handle by myself. We've been bleeding money month after month for the last 8 months or so. So being a single founder, if you will, single entity risk, it was a big burden on me. That was hurting me, my family on a monthly basis. So that's number one. Number two, rising costs. The infrastructure costs continue to rise. You guys probably see it all over the place. Inflation from groceries, but inflations to internet cost, security cost, power cost. All of those costs are rising, and all of that cost has gone up 15 to 20% this last year. So that's another thing. We either need to continue raising prices or we need to look for other options. Okay. We need to raise more money or we need to look for other options. That's what we're in the process of doing. We're saying, how can we find more customers? I was trying to recruit Connect as a customer. But at the same time, I know that it was going to be a very long process, and they made us this offer instead. Our scale determines our success, right? It determines our liquidity. It determines our stability. It determines our longevity. Okay. We as an ecosystem, as In8 alone, are very small. You guys can see we have 61 people on this call, and this is a larger call for us because people want to know what the heck is going on, right? And so we are we stayed small. We never got to a viability point as far as numbers. We didn't go out there and sell thousands and thousands of servers, and unfortunately, that's just where we ended up. Right, it just didn't go the way we wanted it to on the sales side either. Um, and obviously, we need to continue to grow in order to outrun the cost, in order to outrun the burn rate on a monthly basis, and we just were not there. Right, we weren't able to do it by ourselves. Why this is a good deal? The big picture. There's $2.7 million in total consideration here. Okay, that's structured around the node participation, the infrastructure, and revenues. Okay, coming through. The idea is we're designing this to preserve value and unlock growth. At the same time, be able to take us from maintenance mode or survival mode to expansion mode. Okay. And the reason that benefits you guys is because it'll be like a shot in the arm, if you will. Okay. We'll be able to say, okay, well, our token is worth more. Now it'll be the Codex token, not the Innate token, but the token is worth more. I'm getting more token. I'm getting more value. I'm happier. I'm more excited. Maybe you start sharing things in the future. Maybe you just sit back and collect, whatever it may be. Okay. But the idea is this prioritizes endurance over short-term relief. Because yeah, could I put another 80 grand in to survive another month and a little bit more and a little bit more? But we were temporarily fixing the problem. And what we need is long-term endurance, right? So this deal prioritizes endurance over short-term relief, which helps everybody out, including myself. Okay. All right. So like I said, we're moving from survival mode to thrive mode. Why? Well, number one, because now all of the cost is carried by this larger corporation, by a company that can support our monthly burn rate. They can support the data center cost. We don't have to have hosting fees. We don't have to have DAO credit fees. We don't have to have any of these fees anymore, okay, to keep the company open, which not everybody was paying their fees. Not everybody was paying their hosting fees. Not everybody was. So we were still in survival mode because we couldn't get our community to build together. So we get more cost control. Okay. It takes away that uncertainty of our 70 to $80,000 a month overhead. We're able to now leverage an already existing user base, already existing revenues, and infrastructure that we didn't have before. Okay. So we as Innate members, we get to plug into something that's already moving. At the same time, the Connect ecosystem is able to benefit from our hardware, is able to benefit from our cloud software, so they can grow and scale and bring more revenue internal to their cloud. Their ecosystem as a whole is spending about $400,000 a month in cloud infrastructure at AWS, at Google Cloud. So that will allow them to bring a lot of that infrastructure internal and have like I said, a self-consuming and self-sustaining ecosystem. Okay. Those dollars are still coming in, but instead of them being spent to AWS, they're being spent to Codex. Okay. The power of the larger ecosystem. Why scale changes everything. Number one, revenue flow. Revenue is important. Already hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in hosting fees that are going through their network. Okay. Liquidity. If you go and look at any of the token projects that they have on CoinMarketCap, you'll see that the liquidity is a lot better than what we ever had in Innate. Okay. The network effect. They have already an affiliate network community of tens of thousands of people. So this will bring more eyeballs to our project as well. And then, like I said, we get to share that infrastructure. I already talked a little bit about this, but we get to share the hardware now gets to be utilized by the entire ecosystem, not just by us as Innate or not just by us as the cloud project, but by the entire ecosystem from all their other ecosystems, all their other node projects that they have. Okay. What this means for you, okay? What this means for you. Number one, this is long-term relevance. Like I said, we're looking for endurance over short-term relief. The infrastructure, the hardware, and the nodes, we get to get positioned as node holders within this new blockchain. Okay. It reduces dependency on one single platform, on one single founder, on one single person. Okay. As you guys know, we didn't have a support team, we didn't have an operations team, we didn't have a marketing team anymore. We had to cut cost. But now going into this larger ecosystems, we have an operations department, we have a human resources department, we have a support department, we have all these different tools now at our disposal, all these different resources at our disposal. Okay. Now, this positions us for growth instead of attrition. We've been bleeding, guys. We've been bleeding members. Members have gone off to do their own things. They've started other projects. They've done all these things over the last year. So what this transition does is it protects your participation that you had in Innate. It migrates it to a larger ecosystem, but an ecosystem that is already mature, that's already doing revenues, that already has a business model that's worked. Okay. Now, inside a Connect or the Connect ecosystem, there are three primary products. Okay. As far as the node products, there's the smart nodes, which is, call it a full node if you want. Okay. There's the light node, which is a fraction 1/200th of a smart node. So it's a fraction of a smart node. And they have their new Droid program. Their new Droid program, I'm not going to talk much about it. I talked about it with the Latinos because this is more for people that are interested in the affiliate side, for the sharing side, right? They have a way for people to sell for, and they get a node for free, right? You help other people, you get other people to help other people, and you start making nodes and you start making commissions, all this stuff. But those are the three core products as far as the node infrastructure goes. They have other products and services, just like us, how we were building our Connect platform, our web conferencing platform, our photos platform, all these things. There are other software products and other services that they sell. But as far as the node infrastructure, smart nodes, light nodes, and the droids are the primary products. I'm not going to talk about the droid. I had other slides for that. But if there's anybody that's interested in doing the affiliate side, we do have our Latinos that are very excited about the affiliate program. I'm not going to mention it much here because I know you guys are just saying, hey, we want to figure out the CloudX stuff. We want to figure out the DAO seed stuff. That's it. Okay. This is a ladder, not a wall. What this allows our community and their community to do is that now there's multiple on-ramps, multiple entry points into the ecosystem. Okay. It supports all levels from people that are experienced in blockchain, new participants, and global markets. And it creates a continuous demand for the nodes. One of the things that we were having trouble with here at the end is the price point. The price point, the price point, the price point. The price point always is dependent on the token prices, and all these things start happening, right? Where the psychology, the human psychology sets in this business model that we've decided to be a part of. It's not always ups. There's ups and downs. It's a free market. There's ups, there's downs, there's lowers, there's higher, there's breaking highs, all this stuff. But what we need to understand is, how do we have a healthy ecosystem that people can grow inside of? And I think they've been around for a while now because they think they cracked the code. They have been able to continually launch other node projects. They've been able to bring real value to people, and they've been able to pivot under the regulatory environment that they had the last 4 years. They were able to survive all of the stuff that in my previous venture we were not able to survive, unfortunately. Okay. Now, setting expectations. What I want to tell you guys is, number one, this is not an exit. Okay. I'm going to continue to be here. I'm going to continue running this brand. I'm going to continue working to make sure that you guys get value. I have to. I'm part of the deal. I don't get to go anywhere. I have to be here for the next 12 to 18 to 24 months to make sure this thing is successful, not just for you guys, but it's part of my contract with them. It's part of the deal. Okay. This isn't speculation either. This isn't, this is already going into a mature and thriving ecosystem. This is going into an ecosystem that is larger than us, that allows us to have more revenue. And this is not starting over. Yes, you're getting different NFTs, and maybe your tokens aren't transferring over and all this stuff. But if our token is worth zero and this new token is worth a dollar with tons of liquidity, what's more valuable to us? We're not starting over. We're starting, we're not asking for any more money. We're not any of that. Okay. The idea is this is a strategic integration into scale. If anything, what this does is it takes time off of our timetable. It compresses time for us, if you will. And what do I mean by that? Well, now, if you think about it, our Innate cloud has the customer we were looking for. Okay. It now has the customer that it was looking for. We now have a way to sell our cloud. You're going to be compensated through their node system instead of through the NFTs. That's the biggest difference. I'll answer that question. What do we need to do now? Okay, we'll talk about, so let me answer a couple questions here, because I got a couple questions that I want to answer before we go into the next steps here. Okay, how do we continue to mine with our current NFTs? You can continue to mine the tokens that are there. We're not going to turn off the token distribution system of Innate. However, there won't be any liquidity in that token for now. Okay. Is there a buyout option for the servers? If you would like what we're doing, I'll get into that now. This is why we're here, is we need to be in agreement that this deal is what we want to do. We're in what's called a due diligence period right now, if you will. What does that mean? We have to decide, do we want to shut down the company and file bankruptcy, which I don't want to do, okay? But that's an option. And what do we do at that point? I send you, we'll have to come up with some money. We'll have to shut down the data centers. And if we don't pay the data centers, they keep our equipment, just as a FYI. So if we don't pay our bills with the data center, they keep the equipment. So we have to keep paying this $40,000 a month to have access to the hardware. We need to then pay for somebody to go to the data centers, pack up all the equipment, and ship it to you. So there will probably be about $1,000 worth of fees in order to get your server shipped to you. So if that's what you want to get your server shipped to you, we'll ship you your server. You'll just have to pay for the shipping, and you'll have to pay for the hourly rate that it costs us to get it shipped to you. Okay, to get it packaged and shipped to you. That's one thing. So that's option one. Option two, which, by the way, we got to continue paying our DAO credits. We got to continue paying our CloudX hosting, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Option two is we take this deal. We'll get about $6,500 worth of value per server. I want you to keep that number in your mind. If you're trying to sell your server on the open market right now, on the secondary market, it will be about $5,000 to $6,000. 6,500 on the high end. It's like a car, right? You can put it up, price up there, 6,500. Maybe it sells in a year. You could put it down for $3,000. Maybe it sells in 3 months. So you price it where you want, right? What this deal does is it allows us to have short-term relief, because we'll get a little bit of revenue to be able to pay some of the bills. We'll get a little bit of revenue to be able to pay back some of the CloudX owners, some cash. When I say cash, US, some stable coin or some token, okay? And then also be able to still have the long-term value of being in a cloud project, the long-term upside of being in a crypto cloud project that could go to the hundreds of thousands, to the multi-millions, to the billions that we were looking for. If you still remember that vision, that's the long-term upside of these nodes. So the question is here, if you're selling our servers, how do we get paid? We're selling the servers and you're exchanging them for a node and for some stable coin. Okay. That's how you would get paid. So let me kind of talk about that. The next part of this presentation, I might have to come back to this, but I'll come back to this part, the account setup and the wallet. Okay, so here's where we're at. This is the conversion baseline. So one smart node is equal to 250 light nodes. Okay, one Innate NFT would be equal, ambassador or founder would be equal to 17 light nodes. And one CloudX NFT would be equal to 3 light nodes. We're going to round down on that one. Okay. So the light nodes serve as the common denominator here across the ecosystem. That's when we're talking about the NFTs. Okay. The light nodes serve as the common denominators across the ecosystem here. So if we look at this, the Innate to the NFTs to light nodes, one Innate NFT is equal to 17 light nodes. Okay. 5, and I know I'm going to get questions. Why wouldn't the founders be worth more? There's only so much to go around, guys. I'm trying to do this as fairly as possible. A lot of the people that bought the founder NFTs, we bought them on promotion. We bought them at $750. We bought them at buy one get one free, buy 3 get 1 free, etc. So across the board, I'm trying to just come up as a standard baseline here. That's why it wouldn't be worth more than the ambassadors. And I get that. Not everybody's going to be happy with that. I'm not happy with this full deal either, but it's what we have on the table. And we got to decide, do we take it? Do we leave it? And that's kind of the ideas that we have to have here. Now, this is the standard baseline. Okay. There's going to be some people that are way out there because we have some whales that might get a personalized offer. We might have some people that bought extra servers that might get a different offer. But for the average standard deal, this is our standard baseline. Okay. One Innate NFT ambassador or founder is going to be equal to 17 light nodes. And the table just goes on. You can see it there. 10 would be 170, 15 would be 255, etc. Okay, or 250, excuse me. Now, the CloudX NFT conversion, because one CloudX NFT was 1/5 the Innate NFT. Okay, one NFT, we're going to round down on this to 3. And we'll just go 2 would be 6, 3 would be 9, 5 would be 17, 10 would be 34, 25 would be 85, etc., etc. Okay, so that's where we're at with the CloudX NFTs. This is just so you can see equal view here. The path, it doesn't matter what path you take, different paths, same outcomes. Okay, smart node. A smart node is one Codex smart node. One Codex smart node is equal to 15. And we covered this last time. 15 NFTs is equal 1 smart node. Okay. Innate NFTs is equal to 15. Yeah. So 15 Innate NFTs is going to be equal to 1 smart node, and 250 light nodes is equal to 15 NFTs or 1 Codex smart node. Okay. So again, different path, same infrastructure outcome. Asset conversion at a glance, Codex smart node, okay, full infrastructure node. That would give you, if you have 15 Innate NFTs, so this is for our larger holders, 15 or above, you're going to get 1 full node for every 15 that you have, okay? If you have a CloudX NFT, it's fractional, it's already fractional. You're going to get 3 light nodes, okay? That's the light node is the base unit here. So I got some questions coming through. What about those who paid versus not paid? I'm not sure on that question, but let me start from the top bottom. Why? Okay, will the Innate token holder come into conversion if we held our bags? So what we'll do for that, JD, I don't know what your name is there, but yes, for those of us that are holding token, we'll get a little bit extra. So there will be a conversion rate for the Innate token. Now, when I say that, I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm trying to do all the NFTs first, trying to do all the CloudX first, but there will be the ability to swap your token holdings. Now, if you want to hold your Innate, you're going to have to send me your Innate token in exchange for more light nodes. So that will be a transaction that we're doing, a swap that we're actually doing. Okay, as far as the token goes. Um, yeah. So Bo, on the question about that, and I don't know who this is, maybe Bodhi or Bo. Bodhi, that's what I thought. Okay, Bodhi. So if you guys were current, this is another kind of more personalized factor. But for those of us that paid or that didn't pay, what we're doing is we're also discounting, okay, from the full value. So if it was a CloudX holder that, for example, that $6,500, and Bodhi, you can maybe like write this down a little bit so if this makes sense to you. But the idea would be we're trying to get about $6,500 of value per server in this case. Okay, so it would be $4,100 in the node, and then let's call it $2,500 in cash, just to use a round number. That gives us $6,600. So what we would do is, let's say somebody didn't pay their $100 a month for a full year. That's $1,200. We'll discount $1,200 from their purchase price. Um, and we'll see what we end up doing with that extra cash that didn't go out. Maybe we give it back to you guys, Bodhi, that paid, etc. We'll have to kind of see where that goes. But they'll be the people that didn't pay will be getting discounted from those that did stay current. And then what we'll potentially do is we'll make it fair for those of you guys that did pay. We'll see if we can reimburse that payment, if you will. Okay. Mark Goodhart. Mark, if you have 10 Innate NFTs, can I buy 5 more to acquire one full node? Well, we can work something out, Mark. We can definitely work something out on that. I don't I like something like that. We can maybe, and that wouldn't be an Innate system. That would be in the Connect system. I can come up with the SKU for that, for sure. And we can give you a good deal on that. We can do some product credits or something like that. The cool thing about Connect as well, guys, they have these product credits that we can assign to you, and you can just kind of like, and maybe we do this with some of the DAO credits and stuff like that. So you guys will have some product credits in your account, and you can use those to buy more light nodes, more full nodes, and that kind of stuff as we go. Okay. The overall thing, guys, is we want me, and then we'll be doing a call next week, guys, with the actual Connect people. So I'll have the Connect people on with us next week, so we can do kind of like an AMA. All right, we can ask them some questions of token values, hardware, whatever. Write down your questions for the week. But next week we'll have somebody for Connect here with us. Okay, we'll be able to ask him the questions, but at the same time, what they have told me is we want your people to feel like they're coming out as a net winner. Maybe they're not. Maybe we're not getting, buying their hardware back at, $15,000, but we want them to feel like they have the potential to recover their money in the next 12 months. 18 months, maybe less. Okay. And that's their goal. We want them to feel like, hey, there's now a path forward. There's a path to where we can recoup our investment, myself included. Okay. And then start making money down the road as well, once we recovered our investment there, or our purchase price. Yep. So yeah. So the question about the server holders. So what it is you're gonna get, and again, there's different server holders, but the standard offer is gonna be one node. So $4,100 in value and about $2,500 in cash, not paid out all at once. It's gonna be paid out over a 6-month period or something like that. So, as you guys know, if you guys have ever, and I shouldn't say as you guys know, because the question, this is a great question, guys. What do the nodes pay out? What do the nodes pay out? That's going to be the general question now. So, if you guys have ever been part of a node project, you want to be the first, you guys were like the beginning people of Innate, you guys were getting like 20 token a day, right? And a lot of there's a lot of people, guys, that have recovered some decent money on the Innate token over the last year. Okay. Not everybody, but there are some holders that were cashing out consistently. Okay. Um, so same thing. These nodes in the first few months could be paying out 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, $80 a day, okay, in revenue. I think over time it will gradually, obviously, as you guys know, it gradually goes down over time as more people start mining, more nodes come online, the distribution gets wider, okay? But I do think it'll probably average out somewhere in between $7 to $10 per day. But remember, might have 6 months to a year where it might be paying out 15, 20, $30 a day. And again, that's in that token, okay? Okay, I see you guys are answering each other's questions there. So, Susan, I can take care of that for you. No problem on that one. What will one codex node generate? Like I was just talking about, it's all in that part. It's kind of speculation right now till things get going. But we have from what I've been told from other projects, there have been projects that in the beginning were generating $200 to $300 a day in revenue in token. I think it'll average out in between $10 to $12 a day long term, but that might be in a year or so. So it could be we get 6 months to 8 months of really good distribution, and as more people start buying our codex, it kind of levels off. Okay. John B, yeah, so 15K server for $10 a day. Yeah, but if you're getting a couple $100 a day for the first 60 days, that's not $10 a day to start off with. That's exponentially more in the beginning. Yeah, they have their own blockchain called Win, correct. We're kind of waiting to launch the Codex node and the Codex blockchain until we're ready to go. So it might be a couple more weeks. When I say a couple more weeks, I should probably say a few more weeks. Okay. But we'll make sure that you guys are the first people on the blockchain with your nodes the first day it starts mining. The node right now costs $4,100 for the Codex node. The all of the stuff, your image, your products, your connect, nothing happens to any of that. If anything, Bodhi, I'll be able to bring your price down for you for those, and it'll be a lot more easier just to have it paid directly instead of through the credit system as well. So that will all be taken care of, streamlined for you. Where can a person verify their number of founder or ambassador seats? If you go to dao.in8.com and you connect your wallet, it'll show you there. Okay, that's a good question here. Let me see if I have yeah, so if you just go to dao.in8.com and you come here, once you connect your wallet, you just do this, you scan the QR code, and then it will tell you how many NFTs you have. So come in here. I'll just connect the wallet here. So I connect my wallet, and you have the number of NFTs here. Okay. So we were in the process of getting the server dashboard up and running, John, and we basically had it at like the 10-yard line. It was ready to go, but this deal came on the table, and I stopped development on it because it was going to cost a lot more money to finish it and to get that system going. I didn't think we had the runway to do it. So the answer to that question is there's no place to do it. I have all the sheets and I have all the tracking on it, so I can help you out with it as well. Yeah. So what we'll do, guys, is what I need to do now. Like I said, I told you guys I needed to go back a few slides. So let me go back here a little bit. So hold on. Okay. What we need to do now, we need so a little bit of patience here. So I don't want people jumping at this. First thing we need to decide. First thing you need to decide. Okay. Do you ever want to do the affiliate? Would you ever want to do the affiliate program inside of Connect? If so, then you guys might want to discuss, and you guys might want to figure out if there's like some sponsorship agreements that you guys want to have within yourselves. Okay. That's, I think, the first conversation you guys need to have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share a link, a company link. And if you guys just want, hey, I just want my CloudX allocation, my node allocation, I want my server, all this stuff that we talked about. You just sign up with the company's link, and you create your account. You set up your wallet, you confirm your information. I will then send out a type form to collect a little bit more information, and then we will get your node allocated to your Connect account. Okay, pretty simple. If you need help, the great thing about the Connect system is they have an amazing support system. Okay, it's very easy. Everything's automated, complete integration. Everything works. Okay. So I can show you. Let me minimize this real quick. So this is their back office here. As you can see here, I'll just go to the dashboard here. They have absolutely everything in here. So if I go in here, I have this little chat bot here. Okay. I can come in and ask it, how do I create my wallet? Something, right? So anything that you really need. At the same time, not to, if you come into the support section in here, same thing, how to create my account. How to create my Connect account, set up your wallet. There you go. There's the article right there. Boom. And it takes you through the process. Here's a video here, set up your account, auto link. It's a simple process. Okay. And this guy came back with my instructions as well. Okay. So you will create a 12-word recovery phrase, your seed phrase. Make sure you store that offline, write it down, don't lose it, don't share it digitally, don't have it on a screen share, any of those things. Okay. Once you have your wallet will be here. You can import that into Trust Wallet or any of the other wallets at that point. But your wallet will be here. Your digital rewards would be here. The shopping cart is here. As you guys can see, there's the Droid, the block bots, the Codex smart nodes, $4,100. There's 49 left of them at this price. Purchase limits 4. Then if you do want to do the quote unquote network marketing side of it, here's where you can invite people. You can share Codex from here, and you could, make 10% up to 3 levels of all the sales that you generate. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. So this is the network side. Here's like the different things. These are the people that have signed up under the company so far to start doing this. As you can see, there's a lot of people from Peru and Latin America that are continuing on with the affiliate side of this as well so far. So we'll continue moving. Yeah, and I guess I don't know if we have any questions. Okay. Yeah, John, I know your inventory. I have a list of everybody's. Yeah. Bill, Wild Bill, if you're already a member of Connect, just give me your username, your email, and basically just your email. Fill out the form. You don't have to create another account, Bill. Just fill out the form we're going to send. All right. Margaret, so this is a great question. I guess let's just kind of take a pulse here, if you guys will. Margaret asked the question. So we're agreeing on the second option. Yes. I guess in the chat, if you guys can, let me know. Option one, shut down the company, or option two, go with the deal from Connect, right? That's kind of what we got to do. So if you want to go with option two, go ahead and put option two in the chat. If you feel like option one, go ahead and put the number one in the chat. This is just obviously an informal kind of polling, informal mechanism here. Gotcha. Option two, option two, option two. Okay. Obviously, we don't have everybody on here. Yeah, so you guys can send emails still to my email. It's joe@in8tech.com. I'll put it in the chat here. So it's a EVA, it's an Ethereum based blockchain, but it's a their own layer one, Russ. So it'll be our own layer one, but it's obviously Ethereum compatible. So you can bridge it. If you're seeing here, I think, let me see here, you can bridge it to Ethereum. So as you see here, as you start collecting rewards, they have all these bridges to be able to bridge over from the Wind blockchain to Ethereum mainnet, right? And then you can go into Ethereum, etc. So yeah, the Codex coin isn't publicly available yet because that's what we're going to do. We're going to launch that as far we're the founding group of this of Codex, okay? We are the founding group plus some other members from their community. But um all their other coins, if you go into Coin Market Cap, for example, I was showing this earlier. They have, for example, they have this one, Rally. Win is here. You can see their liquidity, everything like that they have here. You can see, the liquidity that they have on the coin. Like I said, we do not have to go through the Win token. So the Win price does not affect the Codex price, if that makes sense. But you can come in and you can see kind of where their market's at, where their top holders are at, etc. So this is that's one of their projects. The Rally one is another one. The Rally one's a little bit newer here. You can see here, they have hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in different liquidity pools here. And then, which is another one? Elevate. I can't remember which Elevate. I think it was this Elevate, if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple different Elevates out there. So, but you can see if you want to figure out like what projects they have out there. Again, account settings, brands. This is just a quick way. They have Connect, they have Switch, Elevate, Rally, Grow. Maybe Grow. I think let's look at Grow. That's another thing. We were never able to get on CoinMarketCap. All of their projects are on CoinMarketCap versus where we were just on Deck Screener. Okay, maybe. I think it's this one, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure what the wind node, because the wind node's been going for a while now. I'm not sure exactly what it's producing right now. I don't have those stats with me, JD. Um, yeah, so the lemon and TSC nodes that will keep coming in. We'll keep marketing that. We'll continue to host those nodes as well. The TSC node pricing will probably stay about where it is. It might increase back to the promotional pricing, which is only like 25-cent difference, so nothing major there. The one that might be increasing is our lemon validators. The lemon blockchain is producing quite a bit of bandwidth. They're doing something on their network. You can see I actually, not to, obviously you can see my list here of things that I follow here. So you can see this. They're doing something that their price is pumping right now. And you can tell on the validators that we have on, because there's a lot of blockchain movement, and so there's a lot of bandwidth consumption. So that's actually, we'll probably send a notification to them, but they're probably going to get a price increase of a few $100 because of the bandwidth consumption that they have. So yeah. Yes. So guys, Wild Bill put in here that he's has a couple win nodes for about a year now, and he's already been able to cash out a little over $3,000 from his 5 win nodes. So they're paying out consistently. It's a blockchain project. It has its ups and it has its downs. This is crypto, and I do think what we have is we have the base foundation for a great. We have a recipe for a great project here. We have hardware, we have software, we have all the full investment done. They're bringing the community in. They bring users in. They're bringing in the self-sustaining ecosystem. They're going to bring in the cloud revenue. So I think just by migrating what they have on AWS, where I'm not sure if I told you this, but they spend when I say the ecosystem of Connect United, they're spending about $400,000 a month in cloud at AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure. Okay, they're spending $400,000. Even if Jared and the team over the next 8 to 12 months can migrate 25 to 30% of that, we're sitting in a good place. Okay. If you guys do want to set up your accounts now, I'm going to share this link with you guys. Go ahead and use this link. And oops, oh God. Just so we can keep it under the company one. Obviously, it's under me, if you will. Okay. But it is just so we can keep everybody tracked in. Let me see here. Account settings. I might have messed something up here. Okay. Jen, if you had revenue from the Innate account on the servers, we shut down that wallet in July of last year, so 6-7 months ago. You'll have to send me an email again. I'll put it in the chat here for you, and send me your email. Send me a basic note and your email or username, and I'll look because we did take a snapshot of what was in the wallets. So we'll have to send that to you via PayPal or something like that, whatever was in the wallet balance. Okay. So Wild Bill, let me answer Wild Bill's question here. So they are going to become clients on the CloudX servers. The answer to that question is yes, but they're also the CloudX business model is changing to where that's not going to get paid directly to you. That's going to get paid to the node operators. And we're giving you a node in exchange for this node and some cash in exchange for your server. So you will be getting compensated from your CloudX server through the node, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, guys. So I put that link in the chat. We'll put that in the chat of the DAO Hub as well. We will be sending out an email with this information as well. Create your account. There will be a basic form that you have to fill out once you've created your account. Remember, guys, you need to create your account and your wallet. So it's a 2-step process. Let me try to find. I guess I must have closed it out. Oh, there she is. There it is. Okay. Remember, it's a 2-step process. Set up your account and set up the wallet. Okay. Create your account, set up the wallet, confirm your information, then we'll send out the form. Well, Bill, we'll get an email sent out for you guys. No worries. We'll get that sent out in the next, probably tomorrow midday, afternoon. Okay. Yep, we'll get an email. We'll get an email sent out with creating the account, setting up the wallet, and the type form. Okay, so if you guys want to wait for that, no problem. We'll get that email sent out tomorrow afternoonish, depending where you're at in the country. So, all right, guys, I don't want to keep us here more than an hour. I will get this recording posted as well within the next 24 hours. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys, and we will talk soon.